Good evening, guys. I'm glad you're all here. Thank you once again for joining me. Before I get started about these earthquakes that have been occurring along the East Coast, most recently a 2.5 that was there in South Carolina, I want to share with you a new platform that is uncensored. It is gettr.com, and that's me, Lucky Finds. And I'm going to slowly stop putting posts on Twitter because, I got shut down by Twitter for 12 hours for sharing some information that the powers that be don't want you to know about. There's been congressmen, senators, doctors, highly respectable people that have been shut down from Twitter and also on YouTube. So I'm slowly moving over here. I'll still be posting on YouTube and Bitchute, and also I have my own Patreon site if you wish to support my work. So if you love your freedom and if you love your freedom of speech, I suggest that you jump over here. So very early this morning there was another earthquake there in South Carolina. 387 people said they felt this earthquake. Going to Google Earth, here's the location of that earthquake, and you can see there's other ones that I got marked out. A 3.3, which was on the 27th. A 2.5, which was on the 29th. A 2.5 on the 30th. A 2.5 on the 30th. And people want to know what the heck is going on. What I believe is happening is, let me bring this out. There's another 2.3 there. Is the continent of the United States, the North American plate, is slowly moving west. The reason for that is because of the Atlantic Ocean slowly growing in size. Let me bring this over, straight over. This here is the MidAtlantic Ridge. And yesterday there was a fairly significant earthquake, a magnitude 6.1. If you look at the image of the fault line and the formation, this is a spreading zone. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, as it grows, puts pressure both on the African coast over here and on America over there. I'll give you a link to this article. It's on sciencestruck.com. How the Mid-Atlantic Ridge was formed, and there's several I thought was real interesting information here. The center of the ridge, I believe, is about 75 miles across, and there's a valley 75 miles across. This process continually widens the seabed and increases the size of the ridge and the distance between the continents. North American plate, and we got Africa, and also it involves the Eurasian plate. This 6.1 was a fairly significant earthquake, and this is what caught my eye in this article. Such violent activity on a global scale sometimes causes the magnetic poles of the Earth to reverse. And we know that our magnetic shield or field is getting weaker. There's 2 or 3 anomalies down by South America where it has grown so weak it affects satellites or other types of things that might go over that area. I think of the space shuttle. The increased radiation that comes through down there in that location. So this lighter green here, or blue, is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And it extends all the way down to Antarctica and all the way up there to Iceland and Greenland. This is why we got Iceland spreading, separating. They have so many volcanic eruptions, such as the recent one. I'm sure everybody knows about that. We got the North American plate and the Eurasian plate. In fact, if you went to Iceland, you could actually walk down the center where the continents are being pulled apart. Such violent activity on a global scale. How large does the earthquakes have to be? Sometimes causes the magnetic poles of the Earth to reverse. I've talked about the coming magnetic pole reversal, how we'll have more earthquakes, great earthquakes. how it affects the weather. You'll have superstorms, volcanic eruptions, the migration of different types of animals. They get all disoriented and end up in different places where they don't belong. And we're seeing all that. And the reactivation of ancient faults that haven't been active for probably thousands of years. An article from WYFF4.com from 2014 says the South Carolina Emergency Management Division says the state generally experiences 15 to 20 earthquakes a year, though many are weak enough to be imperceivable. And they got an image here of the different faults and the types of faults. But as many of you guys who live there know, there's definitely been more than 15 earthquakes within the last year there in South Carolina. The largest earthquake in South Carolina was in 1886. It was either a 7.7 or a magnitude 7.3. August 31st, 1886. And they believe that there was several foreshocks, maybe about a month before the Charleston earthquake. But everything is being pushed west as we got the spreading, the growing of the Atlantic Ocean. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I want to know what your thoughts are. Maybe you guys have some better luck finding out just exactly how the MidAtlantic Ridge would have an effect on, the magnetic pole reversal. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.